that's enough of that.
Yeah.
We ain't got time for all that.
It's too much of a too slow of an intro. We were just chilling and we're like, hey, 4 minutes ago. Yes. So
and Yellow Rose, good to see you again. East Coast, eat more possum.
we're gonna steal this right here for an intro.
Well, we're gonna do
Just
that.
a quick one. Just a quick one. I just clicked on it and it showed up. I'm like, all right, there you go.
What? Wait, I thought
Air 4, Air 3, Air 2, Mavic 4. I don't know.
This was it. Air 3.
Air 3S.
Air 3S. Air 3S.
Oh. Yeah, they're even though that could be done, that's not probably going to be done. That it's a pretty heavy camera, even though that could easily carry it.
Oh, wrong direction. There. That's the one I want right there. We've got a whole new genre of freaking horror movies coming up.
Yeah,
Flying chainsaw, Attack of the Flying Chainsaws.
Yeah, they're not the
Return of the Flying Chainsaws. The Flying Chainsaws rise again.
We're not very creative, are we? We used to be creative, and the Mavic 3 Classic. Now, this would be a good one to use for the here. I'm trying to get this thing to.
Well, what are we doing?
Right. I just was looking at this right here, this Mavic 3 Classic commercial, and the thing that I like about it, I can't. Dang it, I can't. Here, let me unstrap it here. Can you see that okay? Or
yeah,
I can't. When I do that, I can't see it. Let me move it over here. Here, we use this screen. I'm gonna use my laptop screen. Here, we'll move it over. Now I'll be able to open it up, I think. There we go. Whew. The reason why I like this image because the camera is doable with that airframe, and that's a micro four thirds. That would be cool if that was the Air 3 or the Air 4, whatever they call it, with the micro four thirds lens. That would be really useful. If they wanted to, instead of going 1 inch and, putting the Pocket 3 camera on there, that one would be a drone. That would be a buy a lot of people would make. Obviously, the Mavic 3 Classic wouldn't be sold because you'd have a smaller body. But anyway, I don't believe that's happening anyway. It's going to be an Air 4, as what Igor says. So Igor tends to be right.
Igor, whatever if you want to call him.
Igor. I think that's true.
Also leaked this.
Yeah.
The Insta360 Go 3S. Okay. So for now, my camera purchase has been put on hold. Speaking of cameras.
Yeah, what are they going to do with that? What are they going to do?
Cameras.
I know you're getting your little toy out.
Yeah, let me take that off. And I'm just going to make myself bigger for a second. Because we have a, come on, focus. We have a new arrival. Come on, get out of here. Here we go.
Looks good. What's your
The
thoughts?
Cam Pro 4K.
So what are your thoughts on that?
Came with a couple of ND filters, a little bag of miscellaneous hardware and cables,
And
instruction
mounting.
manual, and a charging cable. Well, I guess it's a programming cable. But
so that one you use an app, right? You do the settings and then
yeah, you get the app, and then it creates a QR code, and you hold the QR code in front of the camera, and then recognize it and adjust the settings accordingly. Now, what I think is kind of cool is you got 2 wires with it, but one wire actually has 4 leads on it. And then the camera itself has this beautiful connector on the back. Focus. Okay.
Yep.
RX, TX, ground, and DC 5-volt. So, yeah, this thing actually will hook up to your flight controller, and you can use your remote to set it into to start and stop recording, to set it into programming mode, and what's the other mode they have? There's 3 modes that you can kick that thing into.
So you just use an extra UART?
You just need an extra UART. And I'm going to put it on this little guy.
That would be smart.
The Baby Hawk 2 that has a 722 flight controller on it that still has a couple of unused UARTs.
Did you already build a connector for it there, it looks like?
No, this is actually from my old Peanut. So I'm gonna have to.
How close is it to that? Throw it in there just to see how close. That'd be a good size comparison.
It's completely not gonna work.
So it's much smaller.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you could easily just downsize that and just scale it down and probably fit right in there.
Well, I was kind of digging around on the old Thingiverse and thinking I could just find something already, but nothing there. So
Well, that one would work. If you could
now it does come. It does come with this little TPU part that's already printed out, and you just slide the camera in there like so.
bring this screen.
And then now you got these little 2. I just need to make a base for this to sit on. So
yeah, like I said, I'm very interested in how you what you think of that, because I really thought the video was really good. I mean, for flying, sub 250s with with that little simple camera.
yeah. Well,
and then you've got
it can do 4K, but only at 30 frames per second. And the video quality is a 60 megabits. Yeah, 60 megabits per second. So, but it does 2.7K at 60 frames at 60 megabytes. So it should be passable. I mean, I'm not looking to do National Geographic, right?
You just if you fly even,
Not of $100 camera. I'm not going to do National Geographic.
you fly, you just fly a nice and smooth,
Yeah, it's completely gyroflow compatible. So
Yeah, I love gyro footage. I think there's a real nice, smooth, kind of elegance to how it works. I really like it.
that's the power button, Ben, here on the side. Come on, focus. So that's the power button that actually lights up. There's an LED in behind it that lights up in red. So I don't think there's a microphone on here. So, but was the 16 grams that they're advertising, that's a bit misleading. I mean, by the time you got your mount on there and the cable on there and everything
Right.
else, you're looking more around 25, 26 grams.
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah, I think that's a real good, simple, inexpensive. The big one is inexpensive because they can take such a beating. And it really sucked to lose the SMO camera. I like that one. And then I was so abusive to it. It just didn't make it through my crappy flying. It didn't make it to today where I can actually fly half decent. So it's unfortunate.
and Fly Zone Mikey is in the house. So, and Philip Kilshack. Good afternoon, y'all.
Welcome. Yeah, so that's kind of some good things. I think the Instago, is definitely the only advantage that the Instago has, and you can't go wrong with the thumb because you're only out $100. I mean, and that one you can stick on something permanently actually. But the Instago 3 is just, you get the software, you get the Instago software, which is kind of nice. And then of course it would be interesting to see the side by side because I think somebody did do a 4K side by side with the Instago 3 and it was pretty damn good, meaning that both of them were really good. So it's it's definitely worth the $100. I mean, and that's kind of
Yeah.
we need, we need the.
Well, I'm really curious to see what this Go 3S is gonna be. So I'm just kind of putting all
trying
that
to.
on hold. I'm gonna play with this Thumb Pro for a bit.
I think our brains are kind of in a kind of unraveling, thinking about what they could do with that camera. They threw a 128K card in the other version.
No,
So
you can get the Go 3 with 128 gig.
right. I mean, they already did that. So what would be in the 3S? So it has to be an upgrade in a camera. Maybe it's already 4K possible. It's just maybe the power. Maybe it just doesn't have a very good shelf life, with the running the higher power. So what do you think, Ben? I think your brain, your engineering brain, think about what they could do with that.
Well,
I have no clue. The only thing they could do is 4K.
The Go 3 has 2.7K on,
Right.
up to 30 frames per second. And then what they call the 1044p, which is actually 2.6K, you can get that to 50 frames per second. You see, that's where these specs just are completely misleading. Let me bring this on the screen here. So you got 2.7K video, which is the 2720 by 1536 and 2425 and 30 frames per second. Okay. And the next line, they give you the 1440p mode, which is actually 2560 by 1440. Why don't they have that down as a 2.6K? Why do they start out the first video on the front number and the second the others on the last number? You know?
So they can
You got 2560 versus 2720, so you got 160 more pixel on a 2.7.
I guess the other thing they could do is put, you see how it goes to 50 FPS, that they could go to 60, because that makes no sense to do what they did there. I mean, because that's, obviously catering to the European standard. Oh my gosh, I cannot see for crap. What glasses am I wearing today?
Apparently the wrong ones.
They get them all mixed up. Those are the ones.
I need to change.
I have. These are very good for close-up screen. So there we go. Oh, that's so much better. Yeah, the problem is my right eye is 200 and my left eye is 150. What I should do is get some glasses and mix them myself. That's probably what I should do, huh?
So Eat More Possum is one on 4K, increased battery life, more storage. It's guessed that the only difference will be 4K in the S. And I kind of mentioned that before. The ideal camera, like the Instago,
I have never
be a sensor that can record 3840 by 3840. No, square sensor, and then you can get 4K horizontal or vertical out of it, because that's what you need, 3840 by 3840 either direction, to get the horizontal or vertical footage out of it. And that would be the cat's meow. If that's the Go 3S, I'm there. 128K, 128 gig for storage. I mean, the battery life on that thing's going to be limited. So, you're going to be running out of battery before you run out of storage.
Right.
So, and it's going to be the same issue the Action 2 has.
I really like the compact, the form factor, the flippy screen, all the. If that was a 4K camera, I think they'd sell more of them. I really do. Even though 4K can be, overkill if you're not getting good. I was looking at some mini video this today, and I stumbled across, just to kind of give you the 2.7K kind of. I stumbled across some footage from the Mini 1 that I did, and I'm like, wow, that was really good footage. And that brings me back to the camera. And I wasn't the Mini One, it wasn't 4K, was it? It was 2.7K, right? The Mini One.
The Mini One was 2.7K. Yes.
Yeah. So,
all right, I'm looking at Cliff Field here, a new to
yep.
the stream. And he's saying, let's face it, none of these action cams are designed for action anymore. It's all about vloggers. Which he is not completely wrong about.
Yeah, action, there should be.
This is a very good comment. I'm going to make him a moderator.
Because if it was action, then there would be slow-mo and all that. It'd have, it'd have the action. Because without slow-mo, I mean, that's the part of the action shooting. And a square sensor like Possum and you were saying.
Yeah. And if it was the peanut version where you have to push button instead of this touchpad, yeah, that would be even better. And yeah, Cliff, you definitely have a point. And the GoPros have just gotten so flipping huge and heavy.
James says, I never got notified. Fort Myers in the house.
Yeah, I'll put the thing in on YouTube last night. So
I think that I hope the Instago does do that. I hope it, because if they do another little production run, that means it'll last a little bit longer. Because I was going to grab a Go 2, but they disappeared. I was just going to buy one right from the site, but.
Well, the Go 2 and the Peanut are both out of production. The only thing they got now is the Go 3. But
just like James was saying, or Ben was saying, it's a one-off.
Yeah.
They just tried it out to see what it would do. The concept is really good. I think the flyers like the form factor. The shape is kind of, conducive to flying. 30 cameras at a time on a racing motorcycle.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? Could you get real shots? You get all those cameras going.
The Runcam Orange, I'm going to have a word of caution for you. Apparently, there is some electronic part in there that's rather sensitive to bumps. Because I have the Runcam 5 Orange, and it just quit working. And I actually took that thing apart to see if it was a battery issue. And there's plenty juice in the battery, but there's some, from what I gathered through research, was a capacitor or something that was in there that doesn't take kindly to heavy bumps. So if you're going to use that on motorcycle, I would just be very cautious about that. So, Cliff, you got any feelings on the Action 2, especially now that we have the 128 gig? So,
yeah, they just keep making that Action 2. That thing, it's sad that didn't materialize.
Well, here's the thing, I had the Action 2, you had the Action 2, and I got rid of my Action 2 because I wanted to upgrade to the 128. And then I got to thinking about it. I'm like, maybe, I need to look at a few more options. And then we kind of got stuck, and I ended up buying this little cheap old thing. And
there's a lot of choices. There's a lot of choices for $299. I mean, there's a lot.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just depends on what you're flying, because if you're flying sub 250s and you want that little camera on there to kind of go with the lighter form factor. But if you don't care, I mean, crap, the GoPro 4, I mean, that's $299. The Go 4, man. But 128 Action 2, 128 gig Action 2 is really, that is such a perfect camera for just about every application. It's just so easy to print up stuff for it, and it's just a rectangle. The battery lasts long enough. You just got to pull footage off. And with the 128, you only get about a half hour of runtime on that. And with and then you've got the heat issue, because it runs a little bit warm, but once you got it connected up to its screen or its power base, it heat sinks. But yeah,
I've got another video to share.
What other thing you got?
Oh yeah, you've already seen it, but I got very brave or very stupid, however you want to put it. So last weekend I spent in Phoenix, compliments of Mr. Dad here. Well, kind of anyway. We went to Phoenix to go see the Diamondbacks get that butts whooped by the Tigers. And thank you again for letting me use your tickets there, Chris.
Yeah,
much appreciated.
Somebody's got to use them. Makes no sense for me to have tickets in a city that I don't live in, isn't it?
Well, I mean, I'm sure your son disagrees with you.
Those are sharing tickets. We have those for that reason. They're just share, where people can just bring people, and that's when I go to Minnesota, in the next couple of weeks, it's the same thing. My stepmother, her family has a season tickets for the Twins, so you just get them for, and then they change, so they're in different areas depending on the type of game and you can update them and upgrade them, but it's just nice to chill, go and just chill out. And I'm just trying to.
So we jumped in an Uber.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is just freaky.
Yeah. A driverless car.
How fast did it go at its
Oh, it went into regular traffic going 30 mile an hour down the road. I mean, 30, 35. I mean, it flows, it goes with the traffic.
Yeah, that's just freaky.
Yeah, you just, well, we're pulling out the parking lot here, but yeah, my girlfriend waving her hand in there to just make sure that this is no CGI.
It makes you want to grab the wheel, you just kind of want to just, you get in a situation where you're just like, you just want, you instinctively.
There we go. Here, we're going 30 mile an hour down the road.
Yeah.
I mean, just regular traffic. So I thought that was share worthy.
Yeah, that's I've not been in one. I've been there.
Well,
And
you've been there, you see them driving around all over
oh
the
yeah.
place.
Oh
We
yeah.
actually saw one with a driver in.
Well, they do. I think they audit them. I think there's people that get in there and audit them, just to make sure that everything's working good. That would be kind of fun being
But here's the thing, okay? So we're at the hotel when we're ordering Uber, and then in the Uber app, it actually pops up. We have a driverless unit, close by. You willing to try? Well, okay, why not? And you see that thing approaching an app, and instead of pulling in at the front door of the hotel, that thing pulls in the side parking lot.
yeah.
Stops, and then you get a text. You got 7 minutes to find the car. Okay.
Yeah. You gotta
And then you get there, and then you have to push a button on the app for the doors to unlock. And then I have to fold myself in there. But with my size, folding it myself in the back seat, that was a real experience.
you fold yourself into the car.
And then he takes us over to the movie theater, and instead of pulling up to the front of the movie theater, again, he pulls up to the freaking side door of it. We had to find out where the darn entrance was for the movie theater.
Yeah, I think it has to put it in a place where it's not going to interfere with, with other traffic.
Well,
is my guess.
I just, it was an experience, and I thought I'd share.
Yeah, I think it's definitely worth a shot. Just to say
Well, I mean, that is Uber's ultimate business model: driverless cars. Okay,
right.
they just want to put a bunch of driverless cars out because they won't have to deal with people. They don't have to deal with the customers. They don't want to deal with people either, the drivers either. I actually drove for Uber, I don't know, a few years ago, but trying to get a hold of somebody at Uber from a driver's side is a raw pain in the neck. So
Trying to find that footage. Can't remember how to search for it. That 2.7K footage from the Mini One.
yeah.
The only thing, the best way I could describe it is it really looked great. It must have caught the weather perfect for the right lighting. But the one thing that the early versions of the Mini didn't do very well was hover. So it moved up and down a little bit. The footage wasn't as smooth as the footage you get. But the camera, I thought the camera was really good. I just wanted to look at a still shot of it. I was looking at it today. It just came up in my feed. And I was like, oh, I haven't seen that one in a long time. And I was just, now I can't find it. So I don't know, man. It's in a playlist somewhere. I've got so many videos. To find certain things, but yeah, are we into the driverless thing? Would you trust that on a regular basis? What are they called again? They're called,
Short and long of it is, if it wasn't safe, they wouldn't put those things out on the roadways. Okay, the
Well,
city
they're
would
safe for the
never agree.
rider. The people
The
that are
city
getting
would never,
killed are the pedestrians.
yeah, well, the city would never agree
Right.
to let them drive and on their streets. They wouldn't be able to get insurance, and they got to have insurance to run these things. Yeah,
Yeah. Sorry.
I mean, even if they I mean, it wouldn't happen if this was, you know, too flawed of a system.
Right, right. Plus, I mean, there's a you know, the lawsuit waiting to happen, and they got to decide whether the lawsuit's worth the, you know, the, you know, worth the, you know, worth the allowing the things to be on the road, and that's obviously something that not they're willing to take the chance. So,
Yeah,
uh,
I mean, one of the Uber drivers. I mean, we took several Uber rides over the weekend. One of the Uber drivers was saying somebody had set a bucket in the middle of the roadway, and one of those driverless cars came up on it and didn't know what to do with it, so it just froze in place.
a couple of traffic.
Locked that lane down in essence. And it took the Waymo guys hours to get there to retrieve that car. And it created havoc. It just created havoc on downtown traffic for
That's well,
hours.
that's probably why that's probably why they, you know, they monitor them every so often. They get it, you know, so people can
Yeah.
deal with the jokers. It's kind of like having an air marshal.
Yeah. No, it's quite it's pretty controversial yet, but you know, just being able to say, okay, you wrote in a driverless car, even if it was just for a couple of city blocks. I mean, it's a cool experience. Uh, my girlfriend didn't think it was all that great.
She was afraid of it. Or it freaked her out.
She was a bit freaked out. Yeah, and ultimately, I mean, that's where it's going. And now there's going to be, you know, autonomous cars, autonomous trucks, and there's going to be uh, uh, control systems. And
Right. I I um I found that footage. That's what's distracting me.
there's going to be traffic control to where, you know, your speed's going to be controlled, whether you want to or not, because that's how they're going to. They can't keep building bigger streets. So they're going to have to
Right.
find out some other mechanism to control the traffic. I mean, one thing I know is about downtown Phoenix, the streets that they have downtown are huge.
Yeah, that's probably why they chose Phoenix, because Phoenix does have nice big roads and
Yeah,
it's pretty grid like, and
yeah, and flat as a pancake.
yeah, flat. You don't have hills and stuff.
Yep.
Okay, flip it over to here real quick. That's mini one footage right there. That's freaking cool. I remember
Ladies and gentlemen, there's Dad Random in its natural habitat.
I just remembered doing those. That's guys, that's like almost 6 years ago. And it was kind of cloudy, and that's not bad footage though. It's a little dark. It's your typical DJI dark, but that's the 2.7K. That's actually 1080p too, because I never did 4K. So that's 1080p stream. I actually ran into the to the actual footage. So it wasn't the YouTube footage that I was looking at. It was actually the real deal. And so anyway, I thought that was kind of we won't be able to see it anyway. Oh, that's such a pretty spot. Oh,
Yeah, there's some pretty country around there.
yeah, that's overlooking a park right there. That's Snow Canyon Park right there. That's the high point on the opposite side. This is back when you could still do this kind of stuff. I can still fly up there, but I can't. I can't. Look at that. That's mini footage.
Yeah.
Mini one.
Problem is,
You can't do that.
showing that through StreamYard, you really don't do it justice because we're compressed down to 720, and then you have
I'm
StreamYard.
just all I'm saying is all the everything that you buy today on any one of those little freaking camera drones you buy, it still can't do that. So yeah, it still can't match that, that that footage. It just blows you away. That's why everybody was like, oh my gosh, but yeah, I mean, we're talking about technology and the leaps and bounds in 5 years. There were no driverless cars when you did that. Think about that. 5 years ago, there were no driverless cars on the road.
Yeah.
So by you talking about sitting in a driverless car, we could think about it back then, but there was nothing. That's how fast technology is changing the world. To put it into practice, I mean, in that short period of time, is absolutely insane. I just blows me away that we're doing that. For you taking take. I would have done some vlog footage. I would have put the camera behind us, so maybe a sneaky one where she couldn't see it. Oh. My wife would kill me if I did that. If I didn't tell her where the camera was. Oh, to me, it just blows me away. That's why we're talking right now. We're talking air Mavic 4. Oh my Lord. Mavic 4 Air 3S or Air 4. I just think it's
whatever the flavor of the month is. Yeah.
I just the mini 4 was just such a huge leap too.
Y'all don't be shy about hitting that thumbs up button, please.
All that investor money. Yeah. And the drone, we're talking drone deliveries. Do you think, I think we ought to really kind of actually dedicate some time to the drone delivery thing, just to do a little research on it, because it's actually happening. But most of I actually put up a tweet the other day that almost all of the drone delivery that's going on in volume is happening in Africa. Because it makes sense that just you can't get anywhere there. So to get stuff to people, especially medical supplies, it's drones are delivering that stuff.
Well, I mean, drone delivery has its uses, and actually, where I'm from in Germany, we have a number of islands off the coast. There's a number of small islands.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, one of them I watched a video on. It's the one in up north.
Uh-huh.
What's the name?
What do you mean?
What's the name of the island? It, I watched it. There's actually on Apple TV. Levy,
I'm on Zerd.
yeah, Levy, the comedian. He did a little series on Europe on traveling, and that was one of the places that he went to. It was a German island. Um, I yeah, it was cool. It was so cool. It's kind of like a health spa, right? Mud, kind
Yep.
of. Yeah.
So I'm on.
Akarisho says he needs an Air 2S or an Air 4 because he crashed his Air 2S. You got your freaking some good use out of that Air 2S. All right. Okay, here I'm gonna see if you can zoom in on one of those islands. I'll see if I can find the name.
Oh, you got Zerd?
Yeah, that's maybe what it was. That long barrier
Well,
island there.
that's more than likely because that's the most popular of all
Yeah.
islands, and that's also the most hip.
Can you
And
drive there? It looks like there's a little strip of land there.
there's a dam going there, and you can
Okay.
put your car on a train and take it over to the island.
Yeah, I think that was the island. That's Silt. Right? So what's it called? Zert?
We call it Zerd. It's
SYTT.
SYLT.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. That was the place. Martin Levy, yeah, he was the comedian. I don't know if you remember the Canadian SCTV from way back in the late 80s, early 80s. Anyway, Martin Levy's he's kind of that goofy comedian, Canadian with the big glasses. Anyway, he did a little short and he went to all these different places. And he started in Sweden and he went down through Germany and went kind of some cool places. But yeah, that's a cool spot. And like you said, to deliver stuff there, it would make tons of sense.
Well, let me just tell you this quick story. So you see this outline of this island, right? It's a bumper stick, very popular bumper sticker for people to put on the back of their cars after they've been to the island.
Uh-huh.
So I had just come back from Germany, and my daughter picked me up at the airport, and we're going back to my apartment in Canyon Lake, good bit north of San Antonio. And the car driving in front of us, I shit you not, had that sticker on the back of it.
Oh wow. That's pretty cool.
After you just traveled thousands of miles away from that island, there's one of your neighbors that has the damn sticker on the back of his car.
The other thing is it's hard to fathom the idea that Germany would have a warm climate in the summer. It just doesn't compute, and have an island like feel. That just none of that computes to most people when they think of Europe and Germany. You think of forests, you think of a lot of things, Audubon, but you don't think of islands. That's why I think that's such a cool, kind of a cool deal.
Well, anyway, all these little islands, they may need, medical supplies in a hurry. So they set up a drone delivery system to get medical supplies to these islands in a rush. I don't know what you just did, but you just disconnected yourself. Can you even hear me? Yep, he disappeared. Well, it's been almost 45 minutes and he just now crashed his OBS. How about that? Hold on. Don't have any sound yet, but we're seeing you. You need sound. Turn on the microphone. Hello? I cannot hear you. No sound. No sound. You are dead in the water.
We're back.
There you are.
Yeah, don't blame the computer on that one. That was
When
me
you didn't
messing
press
around.
OBS?
That was me messing around with cables. I was playing around with the cable. Yeah.
Leave it to Dad Rand to unplug the freaking computer.
You can't. It's that freaking lightning cable, and I freaking just touched it. It wasn't like pushed in all the way, and I got close to it, and it disconnected. So that was a total mistake by me. So we're not going to complain about the computer. Nope.
Which computer are you running on?
The HP. It's with the graphics processor on it. It just makes it. That's what it's meant to do. So it grinds that graphics processor and allows that AMD to just do it the thing. And yeah, the Mac, I'm still trying to figure out what's happening right now. It's running way too it's grinding way too hard for a real simple live stream. So it's just too much for it. It's good for like this. I can do like if I was just doing like a StreamYard, but running OBS is too much for it. I don't know how I got away with it for a while, but
yeah, I knew I still had that picture somewhere.
Oh, there it is. There's
the sticker on the Texas license plate.
Most people would see that as a scratch on the car.
Yeah.
You know? No, this HP is a good computer, man. It was worth every freaking penny I paid for it. And if you're just looking for a shit kicker computer that pretty much can do anything, that thing can do anything.
Ben has it narrowed down for you. It's the Apple time to upgrade performance level.
You know what? Did you see Microsoft? We should talk about that. Did you see what Microsoft just launched? Microsoft just launched their AI freaking computer chip software thing. Is this the tech stream, right? They just launched their AI enabled chip.
No, I don't. I'm not going to have anything AI. I refuse to have a computer smarter than me.
My God, I watched him demoing that thing. It is $900, and it blows away the M3 Max. It makes the M3 Mac look like a freaking like a steam engine. It's completely AI. It's got its own AI processor in it, and it's running Copilot, and it literally will talk to you, and it will freaking do all your crap. It'll manage your computer. It's just absolutely insane what it's doing. It'll search for stuff and edit things, and it's unbelievable. I watched about a half hour of it, and I'm like, I can't watch this anymore. But they priced it just like the Max. It's actually it's cheaper. So they have their own Microsoft has their own Surface, like Surface Pro. So it's like the M3 Mac, but it has the keyboard and all that you can add to it. But it's got the new, I forget what the AI processor is. And both they've partnered up with AMD and with Intel, so they're all. It's like the evil trifecta. Apple cannot beat the evil empire. It's compatible with Google. Freaking, let me tell you something. Windows is freaking evil. Microsoft is the king of the world. Yeah, I've been messing around with this Copilot. I got Copilot on this one. I've got the pre-release. It's freaking. My daughter was mixing some compounds. She wants to make her own electrolyte drinks, So she got all these these electrolyte.
Oh, that ought to be fun.
I already drank some, but it's like,
you grow a third eye yet, or?
Well, I said, have you? I said, test out your formulas with AI, and ask about the recommended amounts and all that. It freaking put together the entire formula, tells you how many milligrams, and it's nuts. And it talks to you while you ask the question, and it writes it down and organizes it for you.
Oh wait, Chuck's here. Howdy, Chuck.
Anyway,
I'm guessing your fair lady is sitting with you. So Lori, hello.
I'd be very careful about running Copilot. Uh-oh, Ben.
Ben has inside information. So
yeah, it's going to be a huge target. Yes, it will be. Yeah.
Yeah, that Copilot thing, when that start popping up on my Windows 11, I had to go in there and tell it no, not just no, but hell no.
Yeah, our Copilot is not available at work, so I understand your cybersecurity or at work. It's all turned off. Yep. My niece is she's been doing the cybersecurity thing for about 7 years. Guess what happened to her the other day?
You got hacked.
Yeah. She's like, you'd think that after 7 years of doing cybersecurity and giving people advice that you'd be immune to this stuff. But I was hacked. Those freaking people that do that, man, they make a living at it. They are just evil. They can freaking completely. Yeah. So, and the phones, I'm waiting for the phone that somebody to put out the less hackable phone. I know it's where you can actually turn it completely off. There's actually some people that are working on those. Maybe Elon Musk will do that. But if they build that, I'm going to buy it. If they make a device that goes off the beaten path, at least gives you a small amount of safety, I'll go there in a second. The phone is the biggest weapon, I think, of a hacker, besides your PC running Copilot, I guess. Oh. Clicking on a link like a genuine looking email.
Yeah, well, the latest scam, and if y'all don't keep up with it, but apparently now there's a thing where Venmo or PayPal, you receive a payment, and because you don't know that person, you do the right thing, they'll return said payment. Well, then apparently the original payment gets disputed or was off a stolen credit card or something, and then that disappears, but your refund is still gone. So be careful. If you get a payment from somebody you don't know, just sit on it. It'll disappear by itself.
Yeah, I've already learned I've already been just creamed this year, so
yeah.
I'm the poster child at my work for all the new security measures that are going on right now. All the 2-factor authentication. I run 2 separate computers at work now.
And since we're completely off the subject of drones, did anyone watch the Formula One race last weekend?
Technology. We're right there. We're still in the freaking.
Well, we're still in technology, yeah.
We're still there.
I might have to invest in a McLaren hat now.
Oh,
Well, Lando Norris, the McLaren driver, won in Miami, and this last weekend was in Italy, Imola, or the Ferrari home track. He only came in second, but Verstappen only beat him by the skin on his teeth. I mean, less than a second between first and second, which is a first for about a year and a half now, because Verstappen's always finished 20, 30 seconds ahead of everybody else.
yeah.
This time, Lando almost had him at the end. I mean, that close. So McLaren really stepped it up.
You can only be king for so long, man. They're always trying to get you.
Chuck, if you're serious about wanting some F1 action, I can highly recommend the F1 TV app. It's I think it was about $90 a year, but you get all the races, all the reports, and everything, and you can watch to your heart's content, because most of those races are actually middle of the night for us, because they're all over the world. But you don't have to be up for it. You just wait till you get up, and then you go on the app and watch the race. So, and what's really cool, when you watch the race, you can actually select each car's camera. So, if there's a particular car you want to follow for a bit, you just select their camera and you actually get a view out of that car. So, yeah, F1 cars are hybrids. F1 cars are hybrids. The actual combustion engine on an F1 car is a 1.6 liter V6. That's about half the size of most V6 engines that we have in cars these days. The engine only makes about 220 horse, but the car actually has over 1,000 horsepower, because the rest comes out of the electric motors. So,
Yeah, the F1. That's where we're learning. That's where all the learning's happening.
I think we all know that combustion engines are terribly inefficient. And last year, Mercedes, on one of our Formula One engines, finally achieved a 50% usage or efficiency, whatever you want to call it. The amount of energy that's available through a fuel, they're finally able to utilize 50% of that. So, yeah, no, it's all very fuel injected and very highly technical and
Computerized.
Yeah. Yeah, no, their engines are, the tolerances on the engines are so tight that you can't start the engine unless it's been warmed up first. Because all the different metals that they're using for the cylinders and cylinder heads and pistons, they all expand and contract at different rates. So the engine has to be pre-warmed to just about operating temperature for you to be able to start it. So, okay, now that we've gone completely off the reservation.
Yeah. There's just a lot of segues there in that info. To me, I'm not focused. I got a lot of stuff going on in my brain here lately.
There's something
Too
going
many
on in
things.
your brain.
Yeah, too many things.
You might you go see a doctor.
I think I do. What I need is I need get out of town therapy.
I just had that. Does wonders.
Yeah, I would have gone Friday to San Diego, but I just can't go in it. I would be thinking about the traffic. But from I-15.
They'll show this one off yet?
Oh, cool.
That's a little 2-inch that I
That little
ordered.
2-inch frame that came in.
The C20.
All the screws are inset there. You
Well,
like
that's
that?
the thing. That's the reason I bought it. It has 20 by 20
And 25 by.
spacing for the flight controller.
Do you like those screws be set like that?
It helps because that's where the battery is, so the screws don't dig into the batteries.
Yeah. Well, I know it's, but sometimes with the thickness of those, I mean, if the carbon fiber is a little bit thicker, sometimes it just they'll chamfer it down, and you feel like that screw is going to just tear right through that. I mean, it's not like you're holding something big.
They're not chamfered. They're counterboard.
Counterboard, yeah.
Okay, and there's a difference. I don't like chamfered holes because they will tear. If there's just a small counterbore, then
Right.
you still have a lot of surface area that you grab and hold
Right.
of. Or the chamfer, it's trying to push through. And
Right.
I had bad experience was chamfer holds on the long range, the ultralight long range that Dave C did way back when.
Right. And
Yeah.
I had, that we had that problem on I was kind of worried on the Kai too. But
Was the driverless car completely electric? Actually, I don't know.
I think they are. I don't think they're
Not Jaguar, but
I don't think they're hybrid, but I could be wrong.
well,
They're quiet. I know they're quiet. I've never heard them, but that doesn't mean that they're not hybrid.
let's see. I'm looking at the website right now. It doesn't say.
Getting back off back off topic again. Looking at the cameras for $299, the Ace Pro standalone is $299 too.
Yeah, but it's too big to be carrying on the.
Right. I'm just saying it's just one of those. It's one of those cameras that it's a $299 camera that everybody's got one right now to confuse the crap out of you. It's getting a ton of really good reviews. People love it. I've never heard anybody that didn't love it. Well tested, well loved.
All electric Jaguar I-Pace. So yes, there are electric cars.
Well, there you go. Jim's droning is here. He says he'll be the tail end of the stream today.
Well, he's been busy trying out his new Bamboo A1 printer.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of fun. I can imagine. Is that the one? Is that multicolor? The A1? Do you have the 3-color?
Didn't see yet in his pictures. I don't think he's got the module for that.
I've only heard good things about that printer too. Oh yeah, you got to have the little the little the module. It's $559 if with the mini combo with AMS light in stock. This is $399 here, but this is the A1 combo. Yeah, $399. Yeah, that's just cool.
Well, the A1 Mini by itself is $249,
Yeah,
and then the combo is $399.
that would be cool to have all those colors. You know, to be able to have a four color freaking rack on there. That would be fun. That you could have a lot of fun with that. Just amazing how. I mean, if I got a new printer, that might be where. Though the only thing is TPU. I don't think they can print TPU. They're supposed to, but I probably would keep a dedicated like this
It
little
says it supports TPU.
this little Ender Pro here that I've got is so good at TPU. It's hardly. I think I'd just keep that one. You know, I'd just keep that to, you know, because I could fire that up right now. I could stick a print in there, fire it up, and not even adjust it. Let's see, $319 for each mini and our AMS.
Well, that's Canadian dollars.
Oh, for the
So
for the
$249 US.
okay. But yeah, so you're only paying $50 for the.
$150.
Oh yeah, it's $249, $390. So $150 for the reel. Or that's not too bad. For what you get. I mean, for what that thing can do, you'll like the image that I've got of it right here. It'll make you feel at home.
What's the print volume on this? 180 by 180 by 180. So that's the same as your Creality too.
Yeah, check this one out. See what they're printing right there?
Yeah.
I just did that so Kai could feel at home.
AI makes it possible. Can you shrink noise Swanstein small enough to print on that printer? Apparently you can.
What's that other piece hanging off the end here? What's that? Is that a sensor of some kind? That's interesting.
I think that's a wipe off for the print nozzle when it changes colors.
Oh, I see what you're saying. It basically comes over.
Yeah, it takes a while. I mean, you got that Bowden tube, so you gotta to change the color. You got these Bowden tubes coming in. There's 4 of them, but from where it is up top before it comes out the printer, it takes a little while.
Yeah. That is a cool
So
little.
it goes over to the side and spits out till it changes color, and then it wipes itself off before it starts printing a new color.
I think Dono is printing multiple colors in TPU. I don't know what he's using for it. Probably something like this. But he has a bigger print base.
I think he's on a P1S.
Yeah, he's got to be on a full size to do the prints he's doing.
I wouldn't mind the P1S, but that $1,000 price tag really isn't doing anything for me.
Yeah, it's just neat what you're able to do. Very, very cool. All righty, man. I think we're gonna wrap up the show.
Yep, I think it's time to wrap it up and get some dinner going of some type.
But yeah, just like I said, a lot of cool things. print wise, like I said, if I printed more, I just don't print enough to justify. But that price tag right there, you're gonna get that's worth a shot if you're making enough stuff. You're definitely building a lot, and just don't.
Venti is asking where are your tacos? Well, where's his tacos? They're
Shit.
down at Torchy's. Just go on down there.
Yeah, there should be
Joe, hold on. Hold everything. Joe Fodolio. Joe, how did
Joe in
you
the house.
make out was that storm last weekend? For those that don't know, Houston got absolutely hammered by a thunderstorm over on Friday night.
Right. I heard all about it.
There were literally hundreds of thousands of people without power, and there's still quite a few out of power. It toppled over the big transmission lines. So he's good at his place. Good to know. As long as your place is okay and your work is okay. So
We have to drink some coffee.
well, I'm drinking my coffee. My possum cup's gonna be my pen holder here on my desk.
That's that one's
Yeah.
doing. Oh,
So yeah, Joe, as long as you guys are good and nobody got hurt, that's
that's a freaking bummer. I saw when people started first reporting that, it was like, it's a tornado in Houston. Like, tornado, that's possible. I didn't think it
the
was a
tornado was actually up in Cyprus, which is a good bit north of Houston.
yeah.
But I mean, the skyscrapers downtown Houston had windows blown out.
Yeah. You appreciate engineers, man, on days like that.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm glad to hear Joe is doing okay. So I've been meaning to reach out to you, but work's got me. So he's on Spring. He's actually a bit north of Houston, then.
Work's got you busy.
Oh, you have no idea. Gonna be a late night tonight too. So, anyways,
It's good to have work. Just not always good to have too much work.
so I'm looking forward to what Insta360's cooking up was that Go 3S.
Yeah, we should have some interesting. We should have some interesting information when that all comes down.
We should see some happen in the DJI space with Air 3S, Air 4, Mavic 3 Classic, whatever. So we should have some interesting stuff coming our way. And I need to be building this little center wheel. That's what I need to be doing. I'll get there.
Yeah, I'm going to be on the road here. I'm just trying. I got to focus down and get my load out figured out.
Oh, Kingwood, Texas. November. Yeah. Let me know. I might shoot over. Yeah, I'll probably shoot over that for that.
And if everybody was wondering if I still like the fake PV, yeah, heck yeah. There's still crap that I haven't done. I I finally messed
For
around with the
the
wireless.
uninitiated, fake PV is Avata 2.
Yeah. But yeah, it's got some cool stuff that I haven't used yet. And I finally did a little of the wireless stuff. Works pretty good. Did a little indoor flying with that just for fun. I was kind of bored at work and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna fly around my room. I can imagine what that sounds like out in another room when you hear this. But yeah, working great. I'm just looking for more things to do with it. I'm just so freaking lazy. I just don't want to. There's definitely better locations to fly. I just haven't. Right now is what I should do. I've got a couple of days here. Got to get by graduation first. Tomorrow's practice and graduation Thursday. Friday is
You getting Kingswood and Kingsland mixed up there, Ben. Kingswood is by Houston, Kingsland is by Austin.
the King family got around.
Yeah.
Yep.
One got the land, the other got the wood. We'll just leave it at that.
Almost like Attila the Hun.
Well, for everybody that don't know the topography, around Houston, if you go north of Houston is very, very wooded. The whole East Texas is very wooded. So it would make sense to have Kingwood north of Houston while you have Kingsland out by Austin, where there's nothing but hills.
Taking care of your wife?
Yeah, you better take care of your wife. And don't do like Lee did. I was running around for a customer appointment this afternoon or after lunch. And I see this gray Highlander sitting on the side of the road. And I'm like, that looks like Lee or Yellow Rose Drones. So I went on my appointment, I circled back, and he was still there. And, I pulled up behind him, and Lee's wife got out to stop me because he was in the middle of landing. But I mean, even if I passed him up earlier, Lee is sitting in the car with the air conditioning, and he has his wife running around outside in the heat doing all the work. I mean, he's quite the gentleman. So, yeah, Lee, I got to give you some shit on that. So, anyhow, shall we wrap this up?
Yes, we should.
It's taco time.
Yeah.
Any more words of wisdom, Mr. Random?
No.
Leave the cables alone. Okay. No
I'm getting fidgety. I'm moving stuff around and grabbing things.
That's what I'm worried about.
Pulling cables out.
Yeah.
That's what I bumped in. I was grabbing this SD drive out and I knocked into the freaking yes, don't pull out cables. It's not necessary at this point in time.
All right. Well, if you all hit the thumbs up on the way out, please, I'd appreciate it. And other than that, we'll see you next Tuesday, same time, same place.
Same bat time, same bat channel, Tuesday. What day is that? I'm trying to figure out what my calendar is.
That would be the 28th.
28th. All right.
Yeah.
Next week I'll be gone, so that'll be the last week I'll be here. I'll just be in a different location. Have to set up the remote office.
And then on Wednesday, I have a special occasion. So, anyway.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been fun. It's been a hoot. But we shall see you next Tuesday.
Yes, sir. Hopefully we have some more info on that camera.
Yep.
Be very interesting.
All right.
More drone info. All righty. Take it
See
easy.
you later. Bye.
Bye-bye.